What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Domuto. We back with another video. Today, we are watching UnrealEntGaming Beyond Dragon Ball Super. Hakashin Ultra Beerus destroys Rino. God of Destruction rematch concluded. All right, we about to see Beerus whoop on Rino's ass a little bit more, and he gonna take over this little rematch real quick. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it, man. I'm ready to see some ass. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and let's go. Yes, sir.
As our story now continues, following the initial rematch involving both Universe 7's God of Destruction Beerus going up against Universe 13's God of Destruction Rino, to which upon their battle being shown taking place as both angels went on to watch very carefully was when Angel Pinata went on to then respond, "But I don't understand, because Lord Beerus was nowhere near as powerful, nor was he nearly as impressive as he was when Lord Rino had faced him before, and so what exactly did he go and do that has allowed for him to not only grow stronger as a God of Destruction, but to also go as far as to mix in and use the power of Ultra Instinct as well," with Whis responding, "Well, not for nothing, but Lord Beerus isn't entirely wrong when he had mentioned on how it was mainly Lord Rino who was responsible for this having to happen, but aside from Lord Beerus's desire to get away from being lazy, I must give credit where credit is due, because if it wasn't for our older brother Ivalco and the Saiyan mortal Gohan who was there to train with Lord Beerus when they did, well then none of this would have ended up being the case as it is happening right now, and so you can't really go and fault Lord Beerus for doing what it is that he went and did, you know?" With Angel Pinata responding, "Hold on, so Ivalco is the one who is responsible for Lord Beerus's evolution and having him ascend into wielding such power? And you also say that he was training with a mortal as well? You mean that same Gohan which Lord Rino was shown taking down just before having to battle against his father?
I forgot about that.
When exactly were you planning on telling me about all of this to begin with, Whis? And what I also want to know are the drawbacks behind this form which Lord Beerus currently wields, because unless my eyes are playing tricks on me, then he isn't able to hold on to such a power like that for a very long duration of time like how we are able to. Is that correct?" "Well, that is correct," Whis responds, "and although I didn't find the need to mention anything until coming here, but, well, what I will go as far as to say is that although you are slightly correct in Lord Beerus being unable to hold on to such a power for a long duration of time, let's just say as we are able to, since we are more exposed to using Ultra Instinct naturally, and I think that Lord Beerus, however, will be just fine, but Lord Beerus wasn't the only one who was also shown having to evolve himself, because coincidentally, that very same mortal whom Lord Rino was shown having to defeat was also able to do the same as well. So then this really truly was orchestrated by Lord Beerus following his defeat by the hands of Lord Rino after all, because now it's all starting to make sense to me, especially if Ivalco was the one who was responsible in helping him alongside that Saiyan mortal named Gohan as well.
Yes,
which all the while in the meantime with Rino then shown having to quickly make his way towards Beerus, with Beerus standing there and anticipating Rino's actions, was when Beerus then went on to quickly respond, "What a shame that you refuse to accept my grace despite knowing that you are completely outclassed here against me, Destroyer. Enough! As long will be the day where you will ever live to see yourself besting me in a fight ever again," Rino quickly responds, "for I am going to break you in half, and so now get over here, Beerus."
Get over here.
Interesting, Beerus went on to quickly respond upon being shown having to dodge each and every single one of Rino's attacks. "But how could you claim for me to never live to see the day where I would best you in a battle when I am living through it right now within the moment while besting you in battle as we speak? For your arrogance in thinking that I wasn't going to pay you back for what you did to me is almost as pathetic as your feeble efforts in beating me, Rino." Beerus went on to then uppercut Rino in the stomach by responding, "And as I find it ironic that you claim to be the strongest, but yet for someone who was supposed to be stronger than me, you sure don't appear to be faring up very well now, are you, Beerus? Questions, for you are just a brute. A mindless beast who enjoys throwing his weight around until the very day comes where someone throws it right back at you, Rino. For you will never rise above your true nature, because you could never go through what I had to go through in order to get to where I currently am. And so now the question becomes, what will you go and choose to do?" Beerus responds. "And as I ask you, do you give up and accept your position as being the inferior destroyer between us, or should I go and have to further continue to make an example of you? Or how about I go and turn you into an example instead, Beerus?
You ain't doing that.
So you may go and try, Beerus responds upon being shown grabbing onto Rino's horn, attempting to go for a death blow. Are you? No. I don't think so, Beerus says, to which it was only suddenly within that moment as Beerus was then shown spinning Rino around by the horn over and over again was when Whis then went on to quickly add, you know, I must admit that seeing Lord Beerus be as extremely focused as he is currently shown being against Lord Rino is most definitely a pleasant surprise to see, and especially since he's never shown having to typically be this way, and while I would only hope that Lord Beerus doesn't go and overexert himself to the point of draining himself of the power that he currently wields, Whis continues, otherwise it would be extremely detrimental as he would be in big trouble if he does by the end of it all, and I would only go as far as to say that this battle is already over with the exception of Lord Beerus getting Lord Rino to admit his defeat. Goodness, but I can't remember the last time that I had went and seen Lord Beerus be this aggressive in a battle before, Pinota went on to then add, as not only is he able to see each and every single one of Lord Rino's attacks coming, as he is also seemingly doing it all with extreme caution and precision as well, with Whis responding, "Oh dear, careful now, Lord Beerus, for you don't want to go and overdo it now. Well, even though you just went and destroyed Lord Rino's throne area and most of his arena here anyway." "No, this is completely uncalled for," Whis Pinota went on to then quickly respond, as deep down you know that it is, especially since Lord Rino wasn't expecting for a rematch to go and take place here between them as well. Well, to be fair here, sister, Lord Beerus wasn't prepared either for when Lord Rino had arrived and went on to challenge him to a fight the way he did on Lord Beerus's planet, and so let's not go and pretend that this wasn't going to happen, because Lord Beerus is simply giving Lord Rino a taste of his own medicine, to which within that very moment as Rino's body was then shown sliding on down and having to now reach Beerus's feet beneath him was when Beerus then went on to respond, "So are you finally starting to see the irony through your actions here, Destroyer? For you had previously stood over me in victory only to now be the one who is tasting the bitterness of humiliation against me. Fascinating, isn't it? And so while you are still able to move and while I am patient enough to show you mercy, you should go and accept the reality of your current situation and give up while you still can, or I will continue to smack you around your planet until I make you surrender against me, Rino. As I had warned you that your arrogance will be what leads to your downfall, and now look. For it was your overconfidence that had opened my eyes and allowed for me to see the bigger picture following your return, and now that they are finally open, I will never intend to go and make the same mistakes before your resurrection ever again," Beerus continues, and that includes Lord Cobras, Lord Gardox, and any of the other destroyers who think that they could just go and walk all over me like that again.
Hey,
and so now you have one of two choices to make. Either surrender your position and admit that I am your superior in this battle, or I
talk about that nigga Beerus was having niggas after niggas just popping up on this planet like they put no respect on your name, Beerus. You gotta go fight every nigga who popped up on your planet for no reason, 1v1, low key, to get your pride back, cause they will punking your ass. I ain't gonna cap.
I am going to destroy you without the thought of hesitating, Beerus says, for I will go as far as to explain myself to the Grand Priest and the Omni Kings after the fact if needed, but you, however, will cease to exist if you don't admit your defeat here against me, Rino, and don't you dare think that for 1 second I won't go and do it either, because you of all destroyers should already know that I would, and for the record, I truly never wanted for things to be this way between us, and especially since we had once viewed each other as allies long ago, but this begotten grudge that you have held against me for so long is what brought us to this very point in time here and now, and so this is the price that you had to pay, and so what's it going to be? As Rino went on to then stand back up by responding, I will never admit defeat and surrender to the likes of you. Never. Whether you've went on to discover a new power or not, Beerus, never. Do you hear me? For I will never bow before you as being the stronger destroyer between us. But then, it was only suddenly just then from out of nowhere with Beerus being shown grabbing onto Rino's horn before kneeing him in the chin was when Beerus then went on to respond, you ignorant destroyer, and that is exactly why you are in this position to begin with. with? Because you can't seem to accept the reality of your actions when consequences come knocking at your front door. Well then face it, Rino, for you are without a chance of touching me, let alone actually winning. For not only are you completely outclassed and outmatched in this contest, but you are also outmuscled and outperformed in ways to which they are now starting to take its toll on you, Destroyer. And if you think that I am gravely mistaken, then where did all of this overconfidence that you were just spewing against me suddenly go, Rino? Did I just so happen to snuff the pride that you had just displayed against me right out of you throughout this battle? Or could your eyes be finally opening to the truth of the matter? Beerus went on to then toss Rino aside. And while you may continue to go and try and fight back against me, you and I both know that this battle was already over the very moment I had went and touched down into your universe. And so now accept it, Rino, with Rino being shown having to turn his head behind him by then responding, "No, Beerus, this is over when I say that this is over, and lucky enough for you, this ends right now, Beerus." To which, as Rino was then shown having to unleash a gigantic blast upon Beerus, was when Beerus was shown having to stand idly still by then responding, "Stubborn and prideful until the very end, I see. Some things never change no matter how badly they try, but no matter, for this is going to be one mistake that I'll ensure you go and pay deeply for then, Rino." "Yes, good. A direct landing," Angel Pinota went on to then quickly chime back in. "Yes, as expected, which is surely bound to have made some kind of difference in this contest," with Whis chiming back in, "Well, I wouldn't go that far actually, because if this was Beerus from when Lord Rino had faced them from before, well then yes, I could see as to how Lord Beerus would be in trouble, but this version of Lord Beerus is an entirely different destroyer." To which moments later, back down below as the smoke was beginning to settle, as Rino was shown having to stand and acknowledging his efforts, was when Rino then went on to respond, "There, now take that, you no good lousy little vermin. Serves you right for thinking that you could overthrow me and actually expect to get away with it. So, how does it feel, Beerus?
Feel like you lost,
how
nigga.
does it feel to go and lose to me once again in battle?" But then, it was only just then from out of nowhere through the smoke, before Rino even had the opportunity to finish his sentence, was when suddenly Ultra Beerus was shown having to attack Rino before Rino even had the opportunity to recognize as to what was happening, as Beerus then went on to quickly respond, "Wrong again, God of Destruction, because it'll take an attack far more powerful than that to be what'll be strong enough to take me down, and that wasn't even close, for you had went and put me through enough which had forced my hand into doing what it is that I needed to do to be where I currently am, and so because of this, nothing that you go and try will be enough that will work, Destroyer, as you will have to need for a miracle to go and happen in order to get me to lose here against you. And so if you honestly and truly in your heart believe that I will allow for you to stand back up and continue to disrespect my presence while I stand before you, then you are truly out of your mind if you think that I'm going to continue to give you any more chances when the reality of your actions is beating you across the head, Destroyer. And so I said it before and I will go on to say it again," Beerus continues upon being shown pressing his foot down on Rino's head, "for you had went and brought this upon yourself, Rino. For your reckless actions and overconfidence has now brought you to this very moment of utter humiliation, which was the same humiliation that you had went and put me through earlier. So how ironic," Beerus continues, "but while I will admit that I was wrong to allow for my pride and for my overconfidence to cause such turmoil among us Destroyers, I now know that my actions and the way that I had treated you all was wrong, and for that I apologize. However, despite my admission of guilt, I will not leave your world until you acknowledge your place, and so this is going to be your final chance to surrender and admit your defeat and quit, or I swear to you on my honor that if you don't, then I am going to obliterate you from existence, Rino, and so don't continue to make this any harder for yourself than what it already is, and say it. Wake up, Destroyer, for I want you to go and say it," Beerus continues. "Oh no, but Beerus, wait. enough of this, for you have kept me waiting long enough, God of Destruction, and so it's time for you to go and make your choice here and now. So what's it going to be, Reno? And I am not going to ask you again, and just in case if you think that I'm bluffing, then I want you to go and search my feelings, and you will see that I am dead set on wiping you out if it means establishing my position. And so speak now, or I will end you where you lie, Reno.
Oh, shit.
All right, enough. I give up. I quit, Reno shouts. Oh, and there we have it. Whis went on to then raise his arm up by quickly having to shout, for your winner of this rematch between Universe 7's and Universe 13's Gods of Destruction hereby goes to Lord Beerus of the 7th. And what a battle it was, but very good, Lord Beerus. Very good indeed, and so well done, with Angel Pinota having to respond, I can't believe what I'm seeing, Lord Reno. Oh, I hope that he's okay, because he appears to be in tremendous amounts of pain, and so I must hurry and go down there and check on him while I can. To which, as Beerus was then shown removing his leg by then having to oversee Reno, was when Beerus then went on to respond, a wise decision, Destroyer, and so let this defeat against me go on to forever remind you of just who I am and what it is that I'm capable of, but I also want you to go as far as to also understand that we Destroyers should not go and hold grudges towards one another, unless of course we warrant for death to come knocking, and so consider this moment as an act of mercy that was shown by me, as well as having me hope that you have gone as far as to finally learn your lesson, Reno, for you are no match for me the way you are, and unless you go and train to become stronger, don't ever dare to challenge me to a fight ever again. And so now what is done, for let there be no more bad blood between us, as you are also very fortunate that I had only utilized the quarter of my full power, because had I went and used all of it against you, then you would have been obliterated without a trace, and so take that for what you will, and know your place to never go and disrespect nor challenge me like that ever again. For your debt with me now has finally been paid, to which as Whis was then shown having to appear was when Whis went on to then respond, well, my word, that was an extremely impressive display that you went on to showcase down here, Lord Beerus, and so I do hope that you are finally at ease with your previous loss against Lord Reno, but now that this rematch between you both is over, shall I go and take us back home so that we can go and treat you to a nice hot meal in the meantime, as I'm pretty sure that you must be very hungry with all that you have done as of late, and so shall we go and get going, with Beerus responding, actually no, for I want you to go and take me into whichever universe those Saiyans happen to be in within the moment, for I wish to see their progress along with what it is that they are all currently up to, because it won't be long now until the word from our battle here is spread throughout the multiverse, and so because of this I want you to go and take me to the mortals instead, for I'm curious to see on what their current situation is along with whom they are all currently dealing with, as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Resurrected Fallen Gods of Destruction, the Universe 18 Saga Manga Chapter number 4 Special then comes to a close.
Well, actually,
Alright, that boy Beerus had to show Reno who the man was. And guess what? He showed him. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. And he about to pull up on the Saiyans. Oh yeah. He gonna be is he gonna shade the day, or he gonna watch Gohan do his thing? I don't know. I'm ready to see that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to UnrealEntGaming, and I'll catch y'all next time. I'll check out the last chapter right here. Check out another video right here, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.